Welcome back, everyone, to Dubster Dive, series where we look at something and let you know if its English dub is any good. And we are back with Sword Art Online, this time the second Progressive film, Scherzo of Deep Night, which, of course, the theater was packed for because, I don't know, very least there was more people than I was at the Dragon Ball superhero movie in my area. Told you, man, everyone loves Kirito for some stupid reason. Anyway, Scherzo of Deep Night. I don't even know what the hell a Scherzo is. Well, either way, bit of things to clear up before we continue from the last film, which I did rewatch before going to this one. And firstly, yes, Crunchyroll uploaded the censored version of Progressive Aria of a Starless Night. They censored the Asuna shower scene, because of course they did. Hey, Crunchy, jackass. If you don't want to license fan servicey stuff, then why do you keep licensing it? And I know someone's going to put the Monopoly thing, and yeah, I know. They want to hold the license so no one else can have it. Doesn't make it any less annoying. But yeah, so if you watch it on Crunchyroll, just know it's censored. Also, one of the other things I need to point out is Kaiba's voice actor in the last film. I mentioned this in an earlier Dubster Dive, but I don't think I did an SAO one. I thought he was still voiced by Mark Dryson. He's not in this film, or in the last film. He was David W. Collins, who's Naoto from Kuroko's Basketball, and Spring Mustachio from One Punch Man. But hey, at least Mark Dryson got Guts back, and the Berserk Memorial Edition dub. Yes! Anyway, though, that's about it. Let's get to this film, which I will be spoiling the hell out of, and I could say this real quick before getting to that if you're interested. I'd say go check it out. It was alright. I had fun with it. Anyway, Scherzo of Deep Night was originally set to come out in August of last year, but was delayed because of the Kung Flu, allegedly. A lot of people suspect it was because of One Piece Film Red and other anime films at the time, and they didn't want to compete with it. Either way, it did come out late last year in Japan, with the dub coming out, as well as the sub in America and the West in general, about a week ago now at the time of this. ADR and script translation and directing and all that was still handled by Alex Von David. And, yeah. And let me just say up front, the dub is still really damn good. Cherami Leigh is back once again, so is Bryce, as their Asuna and Kirito roles respectively. And again, Cherami Leigh is probably the best voice actor in terms of performance in this film. I know someone's going to bring up Bryce, and hey, I like Bryce too. Just Kirito doesn't, well, give Bryce much to work with, because he's Kirito. Memes aside, though, the film opens up with no recap at all of the last film. Also, apparently, it feels like we've skipped some shit, and upon farther research, we did. Yeah, you see, the first Progressive film covered Volume 1 of the light novels. This one covers Volume 4. A1, why? Why are you this? This is going to become very apparent in a few minutes. But yeah, so the film opens immediately with Kirito and Asuna talking about sharpening their swords for the fourth floor boss. And speaking of which, we cut to a meeting between the two major guilds on the fourth floor boss before they're about to do the raid. The ALF, Aincrad Liberation Force, led by Kibal, you know, Derek Stephen Prince's dude, and the DKB, the Dragon Knight Brigade, which just sounds edgy as hell, led by Lind, who's voiced by Howard Wang, Anastasia from JoJo Stone Ocean, and Whitley from Rue Wubby. That Rooster Teeth show no one gives a shit about anymore. And, I mean, he does fine. Lind is barely here compared to Kibal. This film actually gives Kibal a lot to work with. Anyway, Lind looked up to Diavol, the Sean Chiplock thingy that died in the last film, and believes himself to be the true leader of the two, of everything. But yeah, naturally the two have massive ego issues and butt heads, but eventually get on the same pace as it's time to raid the fourth floor boss. And it's a cool fight, I guess. Showcases what you're in for, more or less, with this movie. Asuna, Kirito, end up both attacking the boss at the same time. Which brings us to sometime after, at a food joint, Asuna, Kirito, and Argo, who? This is what I meant when I talked about A1 skipping content. Argo was a character in the first movie who said maybe a sentence voiced by Kimberly Ann Campbell. You all know Nagatoro from the dub of Don't Tell Me Nagatoro, as well as Nahida, a best girl from Genshin Impact. She does fine here for the most part, but the point I'm getting at is these three are already incredibly familiar and act like they've known each other for a decent amount of time. I'm not asking like everything, or acting like everything needs to be explained, but still it does feel like we've missed an important chapter here. Anyway, it's 2 days before New Year's Eve, and both guilds are going to be holding a party. But Kirito wasn't invited, probably because, you know, the whole beta testers are evil thing. Asuna and Kirito are bickering over who deserved the bonus on the boss, who killed the boss first, because it seemed like they killed the boss at the same time, yet Kirito got the bonus because Kirito. As Argo's like, oh, I'm gonna leave you lovers alone, keep bickering. And you all know, it's typical, just anime rom-com bullshit. So, she fucks off, as Asuna is introduced by Kirito to the theme of this floor, relic hunting. Apparently, if you eat a blue blueberry tart, yes, really, it is that redundant, because why? You could see relics. And Asuna is immediately happy because, I mean, diamonds, girl's best friend, man. Eventually, the two end up heading into the catacombs because it has rarer jewels. And the catacombs has ghost enemies, which Asuna's afraid of. She acts like she's not, and there's the whole anime moe shit. Like, I'm not afraid of ghosts. Yeah, man, not. Anyway, in the dungeon, the two get separated because Asuna gets attacked by a wraith monster, and she falls through a trapdoor deeper into the dungeon. I like traps. I mean, get distracted. But hey, it's not all good news. She ends up dropping her rapier as a shroom man. Yes, that is what these little monsters are called. I don't mean someone who's high, I don't think. But it shows up taking her rapier running off. Asuna gives chase to the monster, catches it, but she realizes it's the wrong shroom man. For this one, doesn't have her weapon, but instead has a handwritten note describing a meeting place and time. Asuna thinking, a word-written letter? Word-written letter? But you can text each other. This seems very sus. So she heads to the locale without getting her weapon back yet, because that's the smart thing to do, as she sees two cloaked figures having a shady conversation. The first one is Johnny Black, which, I mean, if you could recognize voices, you know, who we discussed last time, the Flaccid Pancake, or Alejandro Saab. And the second one, named Morte, yes, this dude really named himself after the word of death, voiced by AJ Beckles, Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers. At the time of this, where the hell is that dub airing, Disney? And I mean, he does fine, I guess, as this character. Morte is more or less only in this one scene, so... But they discuss their plan in convincing Ki Bao and his group to abandon the New Year's party and raid the boss on their own. And, you know, the 4-5 boss coming up. Which would eventually lead to both guilds potentially having a falling out and killing each other. Which this group wants, because it's evident here we're seeing the formation of Laughing Coffin. You know, the group of player killers. They also explain why they did the handwritten note. That way there is no record of the crime that they're committing. Asuna accidentally stumbles, and before she could get noticed, though, she hears one of the Shroom Man spawn nearby, so she drops the letter to lure the Shroom Man over, to distract them. I mean, it works. The problem is, ironically enough, the Shroom Man that shows up is the one that holds her sword, which Johnny Blackman kills and wants to take it for himself. But that's when Kirito arrives, realizing the rapier they're holding seems familiar. They did say its name out loud, and Kirito overheard it. And from what I heard in the novel, it's explained more as to how Kirito found this specific area, but here he just more or less says he's worried about his partner and wondering where they got that weapon from. So I guess he just randomly stumbled across this here. I don't know. Whatever. Before a fight can break out, though, Johnny Black goes to put the rapier in his dominant hand, and that's when Asuna shouts on top of her lungs, shocking him, making him drop the rapier. So she swoops in and takes the weapon for herself, reclaiming it. I mean, whatever strategy works, right? Morte doesn't want to fight these two, but Johnny's out for blood. But we get cucked again out of what would probably be a cool fight, as more monsters start showing up from Asuna's scream, attracting them, causing everyone to flee. Asuna, of course, is freaking the fuck out as to what just happened, because she was terrified, and this is when Kirito explains to her the whole thing of player killers. Basically, they're the serial killers of the virtual world. Do you think Digimon had player killers? Oh no. Anyway, Kirito's like, you don't have to worry though. I've got your back, because I'm Kirito, man of many talents. Cut from that to Asuna and Argo bathing together. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. But yeah, they're bathing together in an outdoor spring thing, as Asuna wants to thank Argo for being such a good info broker. Apparently she got information on the boss. But she feels Argo, being a solo player, is dangerous and that she could be in danger. So Argo challenges Asuna to a mock duel with bananas and leaves? What the fuck? Look, I'm memeing at this point. Again, this is all silly, but SAO's had its silly shit so far. But before they could duel, they put swimsuits on. That's disappointing, man. You must fight in the new... anyways. They begin their duel as Argo can apparently run across water, insert Jesus joke here, and they end up fighting to a draw. They begin laughing at the silliness of what they're doing, and I'm gonna be honest, Kimberly Ann Campbell's laugh here sounded way too forced. I feel this probably could have had another take. But either way, Asuna now believes that Argo is fine, as Argo assures her her skill to run will help her flee from any dangerous situation. So, yeah. Cut to a meeting that Kirito and Asuna organized with Ki Bao, his Lieutenant Liton, voiced by Amanda Lee, or Amelie if you prefer, Uta from One Piece Film Red, and Martin Kitagawa from My Dress Up Darling, as well as the DKB's Lieutenant Shivata, voiced by Griffin Puitu, who's Louis from Beastars, and Boris, I Am Invincible from BNA. And these two do fine for what screen time they do get. Kirito tells everyone about how he knows about Ki Bao's plan to raid the boss on his own, and Ki Bao more or less reveals why. It's to get a certain item. As Kirito remembers from his time in the beta, the item is a flag that strengthens the entire guild, but only one guild can register to it, and it can never change hands again. So, in order to prevent a power struggle, Kirito offers for him and Asuna to claim the flag. That way no one guild can have more power than the other. As the discussions are about to break down, though, because Shivata is like, what the hell, man? I don't trust them now. They were gonna, hang us out to dry. He also calls Liton Lee-chan. Yeah, I should also bring that up. Argo calls Kirito Keyboy, and she calls Asuna Ah-chan when they're talking. So we've got inconsistent honorifics like Persona. Actually, never mind. What am I talking about? Persona's usually consistent. This is just stupid. Anyway. Liton convinces Ki Bao to listen by saying he's not the type to play dirty like this, and that's why she joined his guild. Ki Bao's like, I'm not gonna listen, but hey, my party's gonna arrive at the boss at 6 p.m. That's tomorrow, 6 p.m. Don't forget, you know what he's doing here, as Kirito thanks him. And I gotta say, I'm not used to hearing Derek Stephen Prince do an overly gruff voice like this. I'm sure he has before in the past, but still, it's different. Not bad, just different. Anyway, Kirito has to plan his own raiding party with Asuna. So first, they know they're bringing Argo. They're also going to bring Aegyo and his friends. Lobaka, voiced by Bill Butts, Blood from Faraway Paladin, and Mask to Masculine from Bleach, And Wolfgang, voiced by Yang Ye, who's a YouTuber, Poochie from JoJo Stone Ocean, and Sherlock Holmes from Lupin III. And I hope Yang Ye is his real name. I've mentioned this before, but I would really like if your voice acting to be credited as your real name instead of just your YouTube name and nothing else. At the very least, have your YouTube name in parentheses or something. You know, like Amanda Lee does usually. Anyway, to be honest, Lobaka and Wolfgang, I think have like maybe 2 or 3 lines, so I can't really comment on their fucking performances. But I could say at least Patrick Seitz is having fun as Aegyo. Anyway, though, Shivata and Litan also agree to join. Asuna uses Argo's information to track down her old friend Mito, who's the friend she had from the first film that betrayed her. And I believe she's filler? Yeah, from everything I saw, people are saying she's not in the light novels. So, but yeah. She tracks her down to a forest, and Mito doesn't want to join Asuna because she said she will never betray anyone ever again, especially a friend of hers, so as long as she never joins a party, she can't betray anyone. Because okay, this logic sounds really retarded, but whatever, we'll roll with it. Anyway, she's worried she can't protect Asuna anymore, as Asuna challenges her to a duel, saying she'll prove to her she doesn't need any protection, for she is strong, independent anyway. The duel begins as Asuna charges her, attacking non-stop, as we flash back to Mito telling her that she needs to be more aggressive instead of just fighting defensively, so Asuna took her advice to heart. And yeah, this duel is overlaid with a lot of flashbacks to their friendship, as Mito monologues that her biggest regret is asking Asuna to join her for this game, because now Asuna's trapped in here with her. It's a solid fight and a solid scene as well. So, props to the dub. Yes, even you, Aeris, even though you're kind of a cunt. Anyway, Mito wins with Asuna losing. But Mito does compliment her, saying she has indeed gotten stronger, but she still won't join. Before Asuna leaves, Mito hands her a necklace that she crafted herself that can prevent poison. Yeah, Mito explained that she wants to get into the crafting gig in this game instead of just being a raider. I guess that's a good way to write her out of the important scenes and explain why she wasn't involved, since, you know, potential filler character. Unless they're going to try retconning her into major events. I guess they technically already did, because Asuna never mentions her again outside of these films. Anyway, Asuna leaves as Kirito arrives, telling Mito Asuna still regards her as her best friend, despite everything that happened. That Asuna still uses the rapier that Mito helped her find. I thought Asuna used the one Kirito gave her. Maybe I'm confused here. I don't know. Maybe Asuna, I guess, could have crafted the 2 rapiers together, because Kirito does explain how she went through a thing to upgrade it so it wouldn't be useless anymore. I don't know. Someone let me know. Maybe I'm the dumbass here. But yeah. Mito's annoyed at his comments saying that, you know, I can't stand people like you. And Kirito's like, yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I'm leaving. Dungeon time, as we're approaching the climax of the film. After a montage, they all reach the boss door. Argo and Kirito scout ahead, saying the room seems different than the beta. Well, we'll see, as we're fighting a golem boss. Its weakness is a crest on its forehead, except the crest keeps moving around its body, making it difficult. But hey, the two start to figure out its attack pattern. Unfortunately, the rest of the crew rush in, and now the boss reveals its true form. Apparently, the golem was the whole room the entire time, so now it's huge. Okay, I'm memeing a bit, but honestly, this fight was pretty cool, and seeing the strategy they had to come up with and the teamwork they had to do to fight the monster was kind of cool. So, I don't know. I had fun with this. But yeah, Asuna's in danger of being fucked up by the golem, and that's when Mito shows up saving her at the last minute. And long story short, like I said, really good fight in my opinion. The golem does go down after everyone works together and, you know. As Mito is the one who ends up with the flag, but she hands it over to Kirito. Asuna and Mito talk and have a heart-to-heart, making up, as the person who took me to the theater, a friend of mine, was going on saying, are they gonna kiss already or not? And I have to agree, there was a lot of lesbian vibes in this scene. So, but yeah, they made up, Mito leaves, and Kibao and his crew arrive. Oh, I should mention Agyo and all the other friends of Kirito and Asuna's went up to the 6th floor as well without them. Kirito says he will only give up the flag if one of two conditions are met. One, if another flag drops to give to the DKB to even the playing field, or two, both guilds become one and put aside their differences. That way there's one giant guild. Johnny is here, but as part of the ALF, you know, Kibao's group, but Kirito and Asuna don't recognize him since he was cloaked last time they saw him and, you know, when they overheard his conversation. In a world where no one can recognize voices, apparently. Damn it, anime. Anyway, he's urging Kibao to just kill them and take the flag, as Kibao immediately puts him in his place, saying, like, we're not gonna do that, we're not monsters, as he trusts Kirito to honor the agreement before leading his group onwards to floor 6. Asuna cries for Kirito because he keeps having to make himself look like the bad guy for everyone. And yeah, the guy I went with commented on this too, saying, what is with Japanese cartoons making women always so emotional? And because I'm a dick, I replied, I mean, is that different than real life? He laughed and playfully hit me. Alright, I'm sorry, don't be a dick. Jokes aside though, at least you could tell Asuna and Kirito are getting closer together. But yeah, we're at New Year's time as fireworks are going off, and Asuna and Kirito are alone together. So this could only end badly, as it seems like someone is spying on them. As a dude instantly takes Asuna hostage, holding her at knife point, dragging her away from the festivities as Kirito follows. Oh, yeah. But Kirito's about to charge, saying they're in the safe zone, as the assassin, voiced by Xander Mobus, I'm pretty sure? I mean, he's the only one on the cast list who I haven't heard throughout the movie yet, to my knowledge. You don't know him as Kilgay from Bleach, or Ren from Persona 5. But yeah, he's like, the safe zone was a little way back, man. Now follow me to the catacombs, because I've got a poison knife here, and you all know immediately where this is going, probably. Anyway, Asuna's surprise strikes him as Kirito charges in, forcing the assailant to flee. Kirito's like, how could you be so reckless, Asuna? And she reveals that she has the poison-resistant necklace. And aside from that, they're still clearly in the safe zone, because otherwise, why would he want them to go into the catacombs away from everyone? Kinda redundant. You know? It would be redundant for him to do that if they weren't in the safe zone already. Or out of safe zone. You know what I mean? I butcher that sentence. But yeah, to be honest, Asuna figuring this stuff out was pretty cool, you know? It shows she is smart on her part. But yeah, anyways, the two realize that if someone has information like this and is able to manipulate the guilds, that they must have a traitor in their midst somewhere, and something must be brewing. As they say, whatever it is, they'll handle it because they, you know, they're each other's partners and all that shit. As the fireworks go off for the new year of 2023. Yeah, it was pretty funny hearing them say that. And that's the end of the film. As far as if there's a post-credit scene, I don't know. This was actually one we had to leave immediately after the film was done, so... the last one didn't, but if there is, I'll make I guess, posted or pinned comment about it or something, or at the very least covered in the next SAO thing. So, yeah. Thoughts on the film overall? There is some stupid shit, but I still had fun with it. I should mention one other thing, too. For some reason, Kibao's group kept calling Kirito Blackie. I know he was the Black Swordsman or dressed in all black, but still, I was like, really? I mean, I'm glad they kept that instead of calling him Darky. That would have also been awkward. I guess no matter what they did, it would have been a little funky. But yeah, so... negatives aside, I still had fun with the film. Again, you could pick apart some of this shit. A1 jumping to Volume 4 was fucking stupid, in my opinion. But... I still really enjoyed this film, and... you know... I still think the good do outweigh the flaws. The fight scenes were pretty cool. The OST was really damn good, as per usual, in my opinion. The dub was really fucking good. Bryce Papenbrook killed it, but in particular, Cherami Leigh, I think, deserves special mention. You can tell at this point she really knows what she's doing as Asuna, which she damn well better. She voiced the character for a decade. But, yeah. That's really it, though. If you all haven't seen the movie yet, and I just spoiled the hell out of it for you, I'd still say go watch it. There's some stuff I left out, some stuff I obviously heavily abridged, and yeah. As far as the next film they're working on, I'm not sure. I heard they announced an all-new original film for the 10th anniversary of SAO. I don't know if a third film for Progressive was announced, and yeah, I will say this would have worked better as a season. That way we wouldn't have had to keep skipping light novels like this. Because Progressive, I believe as of right now, is 8 light novels at the time of this, so what the hell are we going to do next? Cover volume 7, and that's it? Just wait for more Progressive novels or something? I don't know. So, yeah. Fun film, but flawed. I don't know, I still think I slightly prefer the first Progressive movie. But hey. Guess that's it. Really solid English dub, though, and that will elevate this film for some of you if you're a fan of solid English dubs, in my opinion. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I don't know. Maybe you think I'm the idiot and that I have bad taste. Let me know. And let me know if you agree with Cherami Leigh being great as Asuna and everything like that. So, I guess that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all really enjoyed this one. And, yeah. Till next time, guys. Hope you have yourselves a great day. So till then.